The Vanguard spy group have a new leader after Ikora Rey has stepped down to help Zavala. This new leader believes that Sloane and Eris are dangerous and wants Drifter to spy on them. Today we discuss these mysteries. The Hidden are the Vanguard spy network. Ikora has led them for the longest time, and there are many members. They've been around for a while too. They look into different things like threats to the city, study the darkness and its effects, scout locations, and provide intel to our Guardian leaders. They're a part of some of the biggest operations that the Guardians go through, but you'd never really know that because it's always in the lore. After the deaths of the Hive gods, they brought Oryx's and Savathun's bodies to the city. Anur questioned Drifter when he first arrived years ago. Some of their members include Ikora, Eris, Anur, and even Fenchurch Everis. The Hidden have had their hand in a lot of Guardian operations, and they return in Heresy with some big changes. Again, we've never seen them in the forefront of stories, but they've been around. At the Enclave, load into there right now and you'll find them roaming the space. And even in the latest mission, it brings them to Savathun's throne world in the Sundered Doctrine dungeon, where you can see them at the start. Lines tell us how they're interested in Ralk's pyramid and what lies behind the final boss door. Let's first begin with the Mirror Imago card, where Ikora Rey steps down as leader of the Hidden Network. I know my duty. Chalco young to Ikora Rey. Ikora didn't react when she heard the cloak slide to the floor with a soggy thump, or when the chair by her side scraped back. When Chaco kicked her boots up onto the table beside her, Ikora only moved her datapad a precise 6 inches to the left. She tapped into the Vanguard duty roster, another page to review and more messages flooding in at every moment. Chalco sighed loudly. I lost him. Ikora glanced to her right. Lost him? He's stealthier than you think, even when you think you know how stealthy he is. Why we thought he'd be a useful asset, I guess. Ikora turned at last, placing her datapad face down on the table. She took Chalco in, tired, muddy, armored vest undone and hanging by its straps. Well, that's not a terribly auspicious beginning for what I wanted to tell you, Ikora said. But I'll forgive you. If you tell me I have to go back out tonight, I'm quitting, and I'll never talk to you again. You never have the commitment to make that work, Ikora said lightly. She laid her hands in her lap. I'm stepping in to give Zavala more support in his work. I've been firmly informed that it's a full-time job in itself, and that means I need a trusted hand on the Hidden. Chalco scrambled to sit up, boot heels scraping loudly across the table. You're serious? She asked. No, of course you are. Damn, Ikora. First you give up field work, then you pass on the curse to me. Will you do it? Of course I'll do it. Do you know how mad I'd be if you asked anybody else? Ikora held out a hand. Chalco clasped it. Wet field weave prickled unpleasantly against Ikora's bare palm. She tightened her grip. I'll make you proud, boss, Chalco said. Ikora said, you already do, boss. So for years since Destiny's lore came out, we've known that Ikora Rey led the Hidden. This is the Vanguard secret group of spies, I guess you can call them. They go behind the scenes, dig further into matters that need to be dug into. Ikora has always led them, but now she's passing the duties off to Chalco, as she focuses more on Zavala and supporting him. Several lore entries since the final shape has revealed Zavala's current status. He still grieves in some moments. He feels himself getting older. And Ikora says she wants to be there to support him, so she's handing off this full-time duty of leading the Hidden to Chalco Young. Chalco is close friends to Ikora Rey. She's been a part of the Hidden for a very long time and she's a hunter guardian. She's been involved with a lot. She first tracked Crow in the Reef when those rumors began to pop up, that Aldrin Sov had been resurrected as a guardian. Rasputin mentioned something called the Nephili Stronghold, which would turn out to be Neomuna. She intercepted a transmission from Rasputin that spoke of this location. She monitored Mithrax's curse with Nezarec and even snuck into Ikora Rey's secret libraries. So she definitely seems fitting for the job lore-wise. It'd be cool if we actually got to meet this character one day in the game, but that's what we have on that for now. In a lore card from the new Watchful Eye weapon, the new leader of the Hidden Chalco speaks to the Drifter. She wants answers on what's going on, involving Sloane, involving the Dreadnought, and Eris Morn. "Sounds like you're asking me to spy on my own people," Drifter replied. "I'm a lot of things, but I ain't a snitch." He leaned back and crossed his arms, eyeing Chalco over the remnants of a now cold dumpling lunch. Chalco suppressed an eye roll. As much damage as he left in his wake, the Drifter's ego was surprisingly fragile. She would have to handle the rogue Lightbearer with a delicate touch. "I'm asking you to look out for their well-being," the Hidden operative replied. "Sloane's as tough as they come, but there's no precedent for being half taken. We don't know what the long-term effects might be." As far as Eris goes, Chaco let that thought hang. Drifter had no doubt already calculated the potential consequences of her accumulated trauma. "Of course I'm gonna look after him," Drifter groused, "but that ain't what you're asking, is it?" "I'm asking you to keep me in the loop," Chalco replied. Neither one of them is great at asking for help, and we don't want to find out too late that we could have done more. Chalco took a sip of tea, calculating the social dynamics from behind her mask of concern. As a member of the Hidden, she was more than capable of keeping tabs on Eris and Sloane herself. But the Drifter was a volatile element. He could unthinkingly make a bad situation worse. She needed his complicity. "Just let me know what we can do to help," Chalco continued. "Will you do that?" Drifter grumbled. As much as he hated to admit it, the idea of a safety net was appealing. "Fine," he relented. "I'll let you know if anything comes up on two conditions. First, stay out of our way. And second," Chalco prompted. Drifter stood up and stuffed the last two dumplings in the pocket of his tunic. "Lunch is on you." So we have some very interesting moments between these two cards. Chalco Young now leads the Hidden and begins questioning Drifter on what's going on with Eris Morn and Sloane. Drifter's like, "Hey listen, I'm not a snitch, I'm not going to tell you anything you don't need to know." But in the end, he agrees that, "Yeah, I'll let you know if something is going on, maybe you'll be able to help us out." We know how Drifter has been feeling after the events of Act 1's opening. He's been in a pretty bad place. Some of the lore reflects this as well as the dialogue in-game. So until the news that Eris Morn has survived reaches him, some things might go crazy and he may go a little haywire. We'll see where this leads into Act 2 and beyond. Anyway, Guardians, that's all we got for today's video. If you'd like to see some more Destiny news, lore, and mysteries just like it, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.